From Scripps Sports, this is Grizzly Insider, sponsored by Albertson Safeway.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Griz Insider here on the Montana Television Network. And we're not joined by the voice of the Griz, Riley Corcoran, but we're joined by the voice of the Lady Griz, Ace Sourwine, shaking things up a little bit here on the show as we prepare for the 124th Brawl of the Wild between Montana and Montana State. And Ace, I'm fired up to have you here, and thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's been too long. I figured we'd better give Riley a time off, maybe a couple days here and there, so happy to fill in, man.
100%. Yeah, we had to actually bring in the A-team, so, we kind of let him get some reps.
Don't let him hear that.
We always have to let Riley get some reps in. He's the new guy on the block, and things like that. We're helping him out. So, both of you guys are kind of globetrotters right now with crossover season going on. And, of course, you had soccer and volleyball and all these different things. Let's just talk about that a little bit. I mean, how's the schedule working out right now, and how's it, following the Lady Griz with their season in full swing right now?
Yeah, I'm thinking now the last 2 weeks I've been to Eugene, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, and Rapid City, South Dakota with the Lady Griz. Called the first day of the Big Sky Conference soccer tournament here, a couple volleyball matches. So we are in full crossover season, as we call it. But yeah, the Lady Griz, they're finding their way right now, right? I mean, they are playing Oregon, Washington, South Dakota State. Oregon has a chance to be a top 15 team if they stay healthy. Washington already a top 25 team. South Dakota State, they have been a perennial powerhouse in the mid-major. They're the top mid-major team again this year. So they have had some tough results, but it's been against tough competition. For the Lady Griz, it gets a little tougher as well before we maybe get into an easier part of the non-conference schedule later on this year.
No doubt about it. They're not making it easy for themselves at all. And Nate Harris's first year under as head coach, and of course Riley on the road as well with the men, and they've been doing some big things as well. Ace, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this last football game, of course, because it was interesting. We're at this Eastern Washington game where the sky's falling, right, where it takes a fake or a fumbled spike for the Grizzlies to get that win. They go to Portland, they get a blowout win at Providence Park, 63-17. Just seeing them, I felt like probably eased the mind of fans a little bit, especially going into the rivalry game. They always say trap game this time of the year, but Montana, 5 interceptions, and they made sure to take care of business.
Well, you say ease the fans' minds. I don't know if they did the first 5 minutes. Sure. I'm seeing Twitter just blowing up left and right going, oh, here we go again. That kind of deal with Portland State recovering the first kick of the game, and then they score to go up 7-0. But to your credit, I mean, it was all Griz after that. And I think the most important part that I look at from this game was that they didn't have to have Eli and Kaali'i and all those guys play a full 4 quarters. They were able to get the backups in, about halfway through the third quarter and then the entire fourth quarter. So especially with how banged up they are a little bit on defense right now, I think it was very important to get a comfortable lead and let some of the other guys get in and give their starters a rest heading into the game of the year.
I completely agree with you. And watching those guys kind of get in the mix and then really kind of buckle down, too, because that second drive of the game, Portland State's driving again, and TJ Rausch comes up with a huge interception, takes the huge return. What a play for him for his first career pick as a Montana Grizzly. And then from there, it just kind of felt like they were rolling. They were really getting to the quarterbacks, kind of getting pressure, the whole defense working as one unit, and as you mentioned, the offense kind of doing their thing. And I think if you're Montana, you want to have a statement like that, too, because people, there's always whispers, and I honestly, obviously, it's a game-by-game process, but when you can get a big win like that and kind of ease everyone's minds by halftime, I think that helps a lot when you're getting ready to play your rival.
Well, and I look at the defense, right? They've been on the field a lot this year just because the Griz offense, they're scoring quick. I mean, they have 2, 3, 1-minute drives, right? And that puts the defense right back on the field. And they may give up some yards here and there. To me, the most impressive thing is that 5 interceptions, and they have been turning the ball over pretty consistently this season, especially in the interception department. So, yeah, even if you're on the field, you can neutralize that. You can neutralize the yards you give up by recording an interception, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, they did it 5 times against Portland State, and Rausch, shout out to him with a couple on Saturday against Portland State.
A lot of fun. Peyton Wing getting one against his former team as well. Ace, as we look at 11 games, right, just kind of looking at, what the season's been so far, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of craziness, too, at the same time, with these new faces, with the new team. Just what's kind of stood out to you through 11 games as Montana gets ready for this one?
Yeah, for me, it is going to be I'll kind of call them highlight games, I guess. You think of North Dakota. The Griz were dead in the water in that second half. Offense was struggling. Then all of a sudden, they get a perfect 2 scores on 2 drives. Defense comes up with 2 stops when they needed to in the fourth quarter. So I think of that game. I think under the lights against Idaho and how important that was at the time. I know Idaho's maybe fallen off a bit, but on national television. It just felt like there were highlight moments throughout the year in the Eastern Washington game, the way it ends, the Hendricks catch in the end zone. It just feels like it's been a highlight reel kind of year for the Griz football team.
I would throw Sacramento State in there as well on the road. What a fun
Yeah.
game that was. We've got a great show for you here on the Griz Insider as we continue to preview the 124th Brawl of the Wild. After the break, Bobby Hauck will join us here, and later in the show, TJ Rausch will join the show. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Grizzly Insider, sponsored by Albertson Safeway.
And welcome back into the Griz Insider, and we are joined by head coach Bobby Hauck, who the 11-0 Montana Grizzlies. How about that, Coach?
That sounds pretty good, man.
It sounds pretty good, and I got to say, the stat that just kind of blew my mind yesterday when we did the press conference, Sean Rainey, Riley Corcoran, 14-0 in these games before the Brawl of the Wild. I mean, how about that and just locking in?
Well, when Riley and Sean brought that up after the game, I hadn't, I don't lock in on that sort of thing. That's not really my mandate. But that really surprised me. And then to hear the margin of victory, too, is really surprising, too.
It was impressive. And like you mentioned, the guys do a really good job locking in, not getting distracted. And we'll go ahead and talk about the game, right? Because just out of the gates, Portland State jumps on you guys with the turnover on special teams, turning it into a touchdown. But your guys settled in and then from there rolled. So what can you say about really that first quarter effort for them not getting shook and then kind of settling in?
Yeah, it was about as bad a start as you could ever be around, So we withstood that. We went down, we got points, scored. After that start, I think we outscored them 63-3 in that stretch. So good by the Grizzlies.
100%. That second half got rolling too. Obviously, you guys were already creating turnovers. But to me, that third quarter where it was interception, touchdown, really kind of put the nail in the coffin of that. What can you say about the defensive effort there?
Portland State had decided that's how they were going to try to win the game and did some things pretty well. Especially in the first quarter against us, but our guys settled in, they got it covered up. The pressure on the quarterback made him make some bad decisions, and our guys were there to take the ball. And certainly some big plays in the pass defense game.
Offensively, just what'd you like from that side of the ball, right? It's another clean game for you guys. Obviously, there was the one turnover, but overall, they were just kind of humming, and some other guys got in the mix as well. It just seemed like they were kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, I liked the way our guys played. I liked their temperament. I thought they were locked in on assignment. They executed well. They took advantage, and then when they weren't in great situations, they still were able to generate first downs, which is something we didn't do a week ago.
A couple of years ago, Coach, against Sacramento State, you became the all-time overall wins leader in the Big Sky Conference. Yesterday, you became the Big Sky Conference wins leader. Just for you, just getting win number 86 in the conference, obviously, you've credited the guys you've worked with, the players over the years, but just how special was that to enjoy that with your team yesterday?
Well, it was fun. We were on the plane last night getting ready to take off, and all the players, they're on their phones incessantly, and all that stuff was popping up on their phones, and they were congratulating me, which was really cool. But the point I made to the entire group was, I've had a lot of good players, and that's why we've got all those wins.
100%, no doubt about it. Another big win for the Montana Grizzlies, 11-0. And Coach, we turn our attention to the big one, right? It's the one everybody has circled across the state all year long, and it's going to be for the outright Big Sky Conference Championship once again, as it seems to be now. So just your thoughts on the Bobcats and playing another big game, and obviously capping off the regular season with the big one in the Treasure State.
Well, everybody, including us, will be excited for this game. It's not unexpected that this is kind of where this has gotten to. And then, the way things are shaping up and the way it's set, I would anticipate we're probably going to play a couple times before the end of the season.
100%, no doubt about it. And Coach, one more question for you here. Obviously, TJ Rausch is going to be joining us here later in the show. It's been fun to watch his development as a local Missoula guy, a Sentinel graduate with what he's done at Montana, just played in his 52nd game. And he also just had his first college interception. Just what can you say about TJ's growth as a player and as a leader on this year's defense?
Well, it's been exciting for me to watch as well. TJ's done a nice job. He's really evolved as a football player. He's really grown as an individual, and he's playing by far his best football right now, which is good for him, good for the Grizzlies, and I was excited to see him get that pick. He's got great ball skills, so it's kind of a shock when you say that's his first one, but good by him, good return. It was good stuff.
Good stuff. A lot of fun to watch. Going to be a big week. Coach, good luck this weekend. Appreciate your time as always.
Right, thanks, man.
You bet. Coming up, TJ will join us here on the Griz Insider.
Welcome back to Grizzly Insider, sponsored by Albertson Safeway.
Welcome back into the Griz Insider, and we're very excited to be joined by senior safety TJ Rausch, who, TJ, I was talking to your mom afterwards. You finally got that interception, and you got 2 of them. So what a game for you guys, obviously, defensively, but how did it feel to finally get your first college pick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been playing a couple games this year, and I've been waiting for that opportunity, so it was nice to finally get that done.
It was awesome to watch, and obviously it came at the right time, right? Because, you know, we talked about this post-game, but, you know, they kind of started fast with the special teams turnover. They turned it into points, and then they're driving again, but you get that interception down in the red zone. Can you just walk me through that second drive? And then obviously them having some success, but you guys buckling down and you ultimately getting that pick.
Yeah, they definitely had a good game plan coming out for us, and they jumped on us pretty quick, and we weren't quite ready for that, but we settled in, and I was able to make a play and help our defense settle down, and from there we were doing pretty good. So.
On that play, what did you see? Like, how were you able to kind of jump in there, get that, and then walk me through obviously returning it too, because for a second there it looked like you were going to take it to the house.
Yeah, I mean, we were man-to-man, and they're a big slant/bang team, so I inside leverage, and then I just undercut it when I saw the ball thrown, and was able to get my hands on it. And yeah, the return, I kind of just had to channel that old high school self of having the ball, and yeah, almost broke it, but got caught at the end. So
I was going to say 2020 Spartan TJ looked like he was running the ball again down there. Thought you were going to score. The second pick, walk me through that as well, kind of, you know, because by that point things were kind of rolling for you guys, especially defensively. You know, you look at Peyton's interception almost turning into points, Micah as well. Just what were you seeing on your second interception and obviously setting you guys up again?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in our second one, again, we were in man-to-man. I was the post player, cover one. So then, yeah, I was moving off quarterback eyes, and that brought me to the ball, and I made the play. So.
Watching your other guys, too, on the defense make these plays, because it was all kind of in tandem, right? You saw guys like Clay Oven hit the quarterback, and then Micah gets the pick. Like, it was a whole unit effort. What was it like watching just everybody kind of feast, you know, on defense last night?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a ton of fun. I mean, those guys up front have been working their butt off all year for us back in the back end, and when they get after the quarterback, it makes us be able to make plays. So, yeah, it's awesome when everything's meshing together.
For you guys, you know, just were you seeing anything differently, or is it just kind of like confidence was building and rolling, and then obviously the offense is turning it into points, too, just as a whole, just, you know, what were you guys seeing to make it all work?
Yeah, I think a little bit of mix of both, just confidence in our team to go make plays. And like I said, those guys up front getting after the quarterback is huge. I mean, he was under pressure all day, and that makes him throw the ball into some bad decisions. So
a lot of guys about like that middle of the third quarter, late in the third quarter, started getting subbed out, right? And you start seeing the younger guys, the travel guys get a chance to get in the game. It was kind of fun watching you because like you seemed you were getting pretty hyped watching some of your guys get out there and play in the game. What was it like watching the young guys on both sides of the ball get a chance to play yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm the old guy around town now, so those are like my little kids. So yeah, it's awesome to see them get out there and get the opportunity to play, and they did a good job and got after them. So.
11-0 right now. Obviously, you can't be any better than that, and you're playing for a Big Sky title next week. Just what can you describe, you know, what your senior year has been like? You know, obviously being the Missoula guy, as you mentioned, the old guys, they like to give you crap for this. What's it been like, you know, just being 11-0, and this season, I just can't imagine it's played any better than you could have wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm extremely blessed for this season. These guys, I love these guys. I love this team. I love our coaches, and it's been just a great run, and I can't, yeah, like you said, couldn't have gotten any better. So.
Your time here at Montana, you know, 52 games, 52 career games, and that was coming with Portland State. How could you describe, you know, just playing for the Grizzlies? And, you know, when you hear 52 games, what comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of football, but it sure doesn't feel like it. I mean, time flies, and, yeah, it's been a great experience so far, and hopefully we keep stacking.
And for you, just, you know, living this dream, right? You ever take a minute to kind of look around and just go, shoot, we're kind of doing the dang thing here in town. And obviously, legacy with your mom playing for the Lady Griz. Just do you ever take a moment to kind of be like, shoot, you lived out the dream?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a blessing from the get-go to be able to get this opportunity to play here, and yeah, I've just been living it to the fullest and soaking up every moment.
It's the game everybody's got circled coming up next, and it's the one we all look forward to. You're from Montana, you know the implications of it. Obviously, there's stakes with a Big Sky Conference championship and playoff seeding in the mix as well. So, you know, Montana State's a great team. You're looking forward to them, and you got some ex-teammates on there as well. So just what are you looking forward to about the Bobcats? What do you know about them, and how excited are you for this Saturday?
Yeah, they're a great team. I think we have, in this state, we have 2 of the best teams in the FCS. So, I mean, it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be fun.
Can't wait. TJ, thanks so much for your time, and congratulations on the win yesterday.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Coming up, Ace will rejoin me here on the Griz Insider after this.
Welcome back to Grizzly Insider, sponsored by Albertson Safeway.
Welcome back into the Griz Insider. Great stuff there from Bobby Hauck and TJ Rausch, and now Ace. It's here. The 124th Brawl of the Wild. We've had November 22nd circled on our calendars really for months, honestly, and probably for years for those of us who got the schedules in advance. I just got to ask you, your excitement level for this one, because some, and I am one of them, will make an argument this is the biggest brawl that's ever happened.
Well, and I just want to say that I've been here 4 years now, and I've been at the last 2 games, the one in Missoula 2 years ago, one in Bozeman last year. So from my experience coming in, I didn't really know what to expect. I heard about how mean of a rivalry this is and how much each team hates each other. And in a way, I kind of said, yeah, okay, I've heard that before, right? I'm from the Midwest, where I've heard of Ohio State and Michigan. Like, I know how much they hate each other. But I got here witnessing these games and really just kind of witnessing how these two fan bases operate for 365 days a year. They never say anything nice about one another. This is a fierce rivalry, and I think it rivals Ohio State, Michigan. It rivals any college football rivalry in the country, and I cannot wait for this Saturday.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm glad you got a chance to experience it as well. And I got to ask you, just both of those atmospheres and things like that, what stood out to you the most when you got a chance to be at both of those games and see these two teams collide?
Well, I would say last year in Bozeman, what stood out the most is that it was heavily in favor of the Cats that afternoon, and I think what's going to jump out to me was that rainstorm / sleet storm / snow that we got out of nowhere that fourth quarter. All of a sudden, we're just getting blanketed with that on top of losing the game. So I think that's what stands out to me last year. Unfortunately, 2 years ago, it was just the atmosphere of that 37-7 win for the Griz that it just felt like everyone was yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs for 4 straight quarters, and the celebration afterwards on the field felt like it was our longest post-game show on the radio that day just because we were taking it all in. So yeah, just a lot of energy. That kind of what stands out to me over the last couple of years.
A lot of fun, no doubt about it. And let's go ahead and take a look at this game. And obviously, the stakes, everything kind of speak for themselves, right? It's 2 versus 3. It's the highest ranked Brawl of the Wild that's ever happened. Ironically, 2 years ago in Missoula was the previous highest ranked when they were 3-4. And of course, an outright Big Sky Conference championship is on the line, and it will be the 3rd straight year the winner of this game will essentially claim that. So when you look at this, I think the obvious storyline is it's the best offense in the Big Sky and arguably the FCS versus the best defense in the Big Sky and FCS going against head-to-head, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that side, but I'd even counter with the other side of Justin Lamson getting his first taste of the Brawl of the Wild, taking on a Griz defense that, as we documented in the first segment here, they turn the ball over at a high rate. Has Lamson ever played in an environment like this? Probably not. And a lot of people who haven't played in this game probably haven't played in an environment like this. So I'm also looking at that angle where the Griz defense, can they get healthy going into Saturday? Can they force more turnovers again to neutralize that? But you're right. I mean, heavyweight versus heavyweight, it's the Griz offense and the Cats defense. And that is going to be the bread and butter. I just wanted to give some love to the other side of the ball as well.
And you're 100% right, because obviously we saw a couple weeks ago Eastern Washington and a couple of other games this year where the Griz defense has struggled, especially to stop the pass. It's very bend, don't break. Right. Essentially, they're one of the better teams in scoring, but then they obviously allow a lot of yards. Cats offense very efficient, but that matchup on that side where it's going to be Kaylee Ayat getting the start here in Missoula, that high-powered offense, the 3-headed monster, him, Eli Gilman, Michael Wortham, going up against that Cat defense that's been so good for so many years. Their D-line, probably the best D-line in the FCS. It's going to be so much fun to watch, and watching kind of the chess match between these two, right? Because it'll be punch, counter punch, might be a big play over the top followed by a sack. Like, it's going to be a lot of situations like that, and I really can't wait to see how that plays out.
This isn't a hot take whatsoever, but Michael Wortham, it just feels like if the Griz offense are going to continue to do what they want to do, they have to rely on their best player. How do they use him this week, right? We've seen him used in so many different ways, but I'm very curious to see what the game plan is for him in his first Brawl of the Wild as well.
Countdown is on. It's been on. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun in Missoula on Saturday at noon for the 124th Brawl of the Wild. We'll wrap up the Griz Insider after this. Well, as we wrap things up on the Griz Insider, we have to give a shout out to Grizzly soccer ace because, of course, once again, the champions of the Big Sky Conference, a tough loss against Washington to end the season, but then obviously volleyball as well, wrapping up their regular season before they head to Greeley for their tournament.
Griz volleyball having maybe their best year since the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. They matched their highest win total since the late 90s, and yeah, Griz soccer, just Coach Tidovitsky and that staff and that team, they're so easy to root for. And I just got to say, a job well done, and congrats on all the winning this year. And again, just so easy to root for. So Good job, guys. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Great seasons by them. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. This is fun.
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun here in Missoula as we get set for the 124th Brawl of the Wild between number 2 Montana and number 3 Montana State. Ace Sour Wine and Riley Corcoran will have your call on the Grizzly Radio Network. And of course, Script Sports will have your broadcast statewide at noon for the kickoff between these two rivals. And we'll break it all down next week on the Griz Insider. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you next time.